Hi everyone, this is Diane. I'm going to be doing a really fun, fast and easy greeting card that'll give you wonderful results. It is called the Twisted Pop-Up. It is a 3-page mini kit. Let me show you what the sheets look like. And I've already got everything pre-cut. We're going to be doing 2 different versions. And let's get started. Alright, so here are the 3 sheets. You have your base card topper, some decoupage, some added decoupage, and the decoupage for the inside. The inside decoupage, I do not recommend using any type of foam or pop dot, just gluing them flat because it's already a very bulky type of card. The next page, I blocked out the sentiments that I had, just chose the one that I was using so I didn't waste ink. When I cut these out, I want to leave the little black marks for scoring and folding. Everything else you just cut out exact, and then once you get that scored and the way you like it, then you just trim them away. That'll be the same thing for this section. You need these little black registration marks. Let me bring it a little closer so you can see it. You need the little black registration marks to be able to follow your pattern that goes across. This fold is critical to making the card work. It is your pop-up mechanism. This is the piece that will go on to the mechanism that will actually pop up for you. Alright, so let's get started. Let me get these out of the way. I'm going to first show you 2 finished cards. Here is the Snowman. This will be the second one that we create. And this one actually will use a card base, and everything will be added to the card base. When you open it up, there is your pop-up, and you add your little sentiment tag here. This one says, "With love at Christmas," and you close it and open it and close it and open it, and it works quite well. This one is the basic card. You don't need any extra base card or anything else. You print everything off, and this will give you, it's a smaller version, but you don't need anything extra to complete this except for your glue and such. And this one I did not put any printed sentiment on the inside, but it pops up exactly the same way. You could hand write in here. You can add the decoupage. This is already printed on the sheets, so you know exactly where to put them, and then you add your little extra pieces right on top here. Again, like I said, I don't think I would use any type of foam or anything like that. I've tried that, and it makes the card very, very thick. And here we close it and open it and close it and open it. Alright, so let's get started. We're going to be doing the basic version first, and then we'll do the version that you actually add the base card. You add a card to a pre-made card. This is just you cut it out. This is the base image, and see, I left the little marks here so that I can score and fold easily. Let me get my little supplies here. Alright, and here we go. I use just a little mini scoring pad, and you line up your little black marks here and here, and you score, and you're going to valley fold. Alright, I've got this just the way I wanted because I pre-scored it before I started the tutorial. And then you want to take your bone folder or any flat type of instrument and get a nice good crease. And this is upside down. Okay, so now is the time to trim away the little excess. No special tools. You need some glue. You may want to put some glitter, a little bit of foam. This base one, I am going to be adding both the topper decoupage and a little bit of the decoupage cutouts, which I will be adding with the foam dots. Because this is on the front, you can add the dimension without creating any extra bulk on the inside. Okay, so we're going to line this up, make sure it fits right, and it does. But I am going to start on the inside so that it has a chance to dry while we're working on the outside, because there is some drying time involved with this, because I kind of like to use wet glue because it sticks really well then, and you don't have to worry about it coming apart. If you don't want to do it this way, that is absolutely fine. You can just do it using the super sticky double-sided tape, which I don't have any of right now, so I'm just using the wet glue. You want to be sure to use a wrinkle-free wet glue. I use Elmer's because it's very wrinkle-free, and it sticks really well. Alright, so you want to line this up. There's a little dot here that tells you the approximate center of the inside of your card, and then you add glue to this other part and fold it down, press it into place, and then I am going to put a little bit of weight on it, and hopefully it'll be dry when we get back to it. Excuse me. All right. Okay, so that's set aside, and let me show you how to fold the mechanism. I've got another one here. This is the second card we'll be working on. And let me move this out of the way. And here is your mechanism, your pop-up mechanism. Every card kit comes with this, and it tells you where to put your glue or double stick tape, and it has the registration marks to score. This also will have the little black extensions, and what you're going to do is line up your black extensions as so, and you will score. And you will score, and this dashed line right here goes from end to end. It does not show, so I didn't put the extension, and so you score that. And then you want to mountain fold the printed side. You want to line it all up. I'm a little off right here, but that's not critical. We'll trim it away. If you get a little off on your line, you'll get a little excess white, and now we're good. We'll open that up, and with the color facing up, you're going to press in and bring the color to itself. This will create like a little house shape. And because it's already scored, it should fall right into place. And then you score and you score, and this is where the glue goes, and it goes inside of the card. Let me unfold that one more time. This you go mountain fold, and then you want to fold and fold, and then you bring your color, press white to white and bring your color in, creates the little house like so, and then you glue it inside the card as I did, and I will show that again with the second card. Alright, so here's my topper, and I'm going to pre-assemble all of this. Use my Zig pen for this because this dries pretty quickly, and it's a pretty good ink. Alright, and we want to go all the way around, and I'm going to use a little bit of wet glue. As it dries, that will stick really well, but the Zig pen dries very quickly. You could use, you know, a tape roller, anything you want. Then you line it up and press it down, and that gives you just a little bit of dimension. It gives you a little thickness to the card. Works really well. Okay, and now we'll add the decoupage, which I've already put my little dimensional dots on, and I've peeled it away, so it is just ready to go. So we'll add this. I shaped it a little so it looks like the boy is actually knocking on the door. And I think I'll put a little tiny bit of wet glue under his hair because he has a little decoupage on the hat also. And here's my little pop dot for that. Press that on. As you can see, it's shaped just a tiny bit. And then we line this up. Press it down. Alright. And here's the present. The little stack of presents that goes on the sled. And I've already peeled away the backing, so now it's just a matter of lining it up, pressing it down, and now we've got some dimension to our card. Using very thin foam. And because it's shaped, you can actually feel it. Alright, so the next step will be adding the decoupage elements, if you so desire. One goes here, here, and then of course the two ends. And the last one goes here, which I am not going to add for the sake of time. We'll go back to the insert. I always put my topper on last after I get my pieces mounted inside because sometimes getting them on the inside is a little tricky because of the way the mechanism pops up. And we will add a little bit of the Zig. And then we're going to go with the wet glue so that as it dries it sticks really, really good. And you're just going to add it right into the designated box there. You want to fold this back, line it up. I hope you can see this. The pop-up piece is a little taller than make sure it's nice and straight, and press. Now you can use your super sticky double stick tape also for this. Now press that down. And of course, when it's glued, one is glued on the bottom and one is glued on the top. So as you turn it into itself, it actually twists in place. All right. And put a little wet glue in there. And then we lay this flat and press it down. And that's pretty much it. Now your mechanism, you may have to coax it the first couple of times. Will fold in. It's still quite wet, so we need to let that dry just for a few seconds. All right. That one's pretty good. And that one's pretty good. All right. Now you can use wet glue. You can use roller tape, whatever you like for this. You can actually even use very thin dimensional foam pads, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Very thin dimensional pads. And I am just going to use about 5 of them, and that will give it a little bit of dimension. There are several tags with each kit that say different things. We've done Christmas and winter with the snowman. I've done a playing card, which you'll see next. And I'm going to work on a few others and hopefully get them up. This one says Merry Christmas to you. And you just line it up. And her scarf and his scarf stick out the edge just a tiny little bit to give it that extra dimension. And if you don't press, you can reposition it until you're happy, which I'm happy with that. I'll press that down. And let's go ahead and close this up, and we can add the front pieces. We're just going to coax that in. There we go. And that's the front of my card. And now I will add the front pieces, and then we're going to set it aside, and we'll open it and close it after we finish the second card. And again, I am going to use some wet glue to attach the topper. I think I'll use a little E6000 to start, because that just sticks really, really good. And it dries very quickly. And let me line this up. And it is repositionable for a few seconds anyway. If you have any white showing after you get your card on, you can trim it away. Alright, and then I'm going to use a little bit of wet glue just so that we stick all the way around. having gaps. And a little bit through the center. And then we'll press this down really good. And that should give us what we need. Alright, and there you have the card. And open. Even with the dimensional inside. Open and close. All right, now let's start on the second card. The only difference with this and the first card is that you're going to be putting everything on a topper, on a base card, and we'll add the topper and all of the elements to the inside as so. And this one will be playing cards with some cute little pinup girls. So this is how we will put the top in. That's the topper. And the biggest difference with this and the first card is that you have to cut your insert apart because you need to center it on your base card, which can be any color you like. You just kind of eyeball the centering. Here is my little dot that's cut in half. So instead of cutting and folding as we did with this one, at the black lines, you're going to cut it in half. All right, so let's get to the assembly. All right, I think again I will use a little bit of A6000, and because it's a kind of a petroleum based glue, it works really well. It dries fast, kind of puts everything in position for you. Alright, this goes here, and we will center it. And you're going to leave a white gap at the top and the bottom, both. It does not affect the pop-up mechanism. It just gives you a little bit larger card, a little more stable card. I actually like this really well because it, although it's kind of a thick card, the pop-up mechanism works wonderfully on this. And I'm going to put a tiny bit of A6000 into the corners just so that it sets up quickly and stays down really well. Oops, there we go. And a little there. Okay. And make sure your dots are facing each other. And we're going to line it up nicely. There we go. Press it down. Okay. And I'm just going to use my bone folder to make sure my paper is nice and flat, attached well. You don't want to put too much glue because you don't want it to seep out. And then when you open the card, this will be your front, that'll be your back. And you can actually print the topper twice if you want a card front and a card back. I don't even fool with it. I used to finish all my card backs, but I just don't mess with it so much anymore. I'm going to attach just the topper, and then we'll work back on the inside. That'll give this a chance to dry before I add all my decoupage. And that's the only reason for that. Alright, so let's go ahead and put some wet glue. I like to do it as simply as possible with as few supplies as you could possibly need, so that if you're a beginner and you kind of just want to try the craft, it's not super expensive. You don't have to do glitter. I mean, you certainly can, but at that point everything is optional. And then as you decide you love it, as I do, you can add more and more supplies as you can afford them, but you certainly don't have to have anything special. And we will press this down. I mean, you can use a pen, just anything flat to make sure that your pieces are down. Okay, then we're going to open it. So basically all you need is a printer, scissors, and some glue in order to complete one of these cards. And this is the mechanism that we pre-folded. I showed you earlier. Let me unfold it and show you one more time. Okay, there's the glue right there on the white. It opens and you fold the colors into themselves, which creates like a little house shape. And then you put this right here. Use your dots as your line-up spots, and you press and press. And then add glue. Here. Fold it down and press. Alright, and I am going to put a little weight on here, give this a chance to dry, so we'll just move this out of the way. And we'll work on the topper, and then we'll add, this is your pop-up little 4 aces, using my little pinup girls. And this one says happy birthday wishes. There's also a Father's Day sentiment if you'd like to use that. This one says it's your birthday, celebrate. Decoupage and decoupage. So what I'd like to do now is go ahead and let's shape this a little bit, just so we have a nice just curved a tiny bit. And then we're going to add this. We're going to line it up. We'll glue it down. And I'm going to add some pop dots just to this part here, just so we have a little bit of dimension. I am actually not going to add it to the circle. I'm going to leave the circle just as it is. And just the cards will stick up. glue. And then we'll add the sentiment, and then we'll finish up the inside, which hopefully will already be dry. And I'll put that on there, and let's go ahead and twist it to line it up. There we go. And then we'll press our pop dots down, and we have a little bit of dimension here where the pop dots are. And I chose It's Your Birthday Celebrate. You can put it sideways or straight. I am choosing straight because I kind of like the way that looks. And you've got your aces covered with your 3 cards, and about the best poker hand you could have. This is a great card for guys. It's good for girls that are kind of hard to find cards for. Especially if they like to play cards. It's like a perfect card. And then I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to open this up. It's done real well. And here's my happy birthday wishes. Okay, and that'll go right here. And I think I will just do this one flat because we use the pop dots on the other one. There we go. Happy birthday wishes. Right here. Okay. Remember, do not add so much glue that when you press it down or squeegee it with your bone folder, that glue seeps out. Because you can see glue on paper, even if it dries clear. Alright, and there's that. And now we're going to add a little glue here, and a little glue here, and our pop-up mechanism, which you have to kind of bend it the opposite way just to line it up the very first time. And get it right there at the X. I'm just going to hold it in place and add my glue. And I did a playing card in an opposite color on the inside. All with the vintage look. Go. Of course, glue on the bottom of one and the top of the other, and that creates the twisting mechanism. I am going to work on some different types of twist and pop. Kind of take in everybody's taste if I can. And as you can see, these cards were deliberately angled so that they kind of actually look like they're popping all on their own. And you can add your dimensional elements if you like. And we're going to close this, and of course the glue isn't set yet. So we'll press that down. And I'm going to put a little weight on it until it has a little chance to set up. And then I'm going to add some wet glue. So it sticks all the way around, just about to the edge. Maybe a little more. A bit of this. I hope I got everything in frame. I can't really see my camera as I go. Alright, let's take this back out and we'll put this on. And then I'll show you all the cards one more time. We'll line this up. You could actually do dimension if you would like. You could add your dimensional elements last. I'm doing it a little out of order for the sake of video time. I think I would get the whole inside done. Add your topper. And then do your dimensional elements. Do it in a weird order just to give the glue a chance to dry so that we can pop it open for you. And dear whoever up here, maybe a little personalized message and your happy birthday wishes. And that is that. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned how to make these in a pretty easy way. There's no measuring. You just score, fold, get everything together, assemble your cards, and that's it. And I'll show you the cards one more time. There'll be a link in the description box on Crafts You Print to get to the video, and there'll be a link from the video back to Crafts You Print to these adorable little cards. There's that one. This one actually has the base card and a pre-made card. And this one using just the kit again, no special anything needed. And then this one with the pre-made card. Let's twist that a little. Adding all of the elements to the inside. And you can see right there how that mechanism works. And that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope to be bringing you some more tutorials real soon. These are great for beginners. Generally, experienced card makers don't need the tutorial, but they're there if you'd like to view it. Sometimes I even view tutorials because I like to refresh my memory on how to do things. And again, remember, you don't need a pre-made card. The entire card is set to go right in the kit. But if you do want to use a greeting card, a blank greeting card, you need to cut your inside apart instead of scoring and folding. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope to do another video.